Starting from the basics, what is an education loan? Another important word is repayment tenure. Lastly, let's talk about margin money. This is the cash you put from your pocket when you take a loan. They can often offer higher unsecured loan amounts, extending up to 75 to even 80 lakhs. Do you know that an education loan can cover every necessary expense, including tuition, food, travel, laptop, and everything else you might need to complete your higher education abroad? Hi, I'm Jainesh. I'm one of the founders here at GyanDhan. I'm here to help you understand all about abroad education loans. We're going to discuss things like different lenders, accepted collaterals, eligibility, documents, and much more. Taking out a loan for your education is a big deal, and not knowing all the details can cause issues. So let's make it simple and clear. I will walk you through everything you need to know about getting a loan for studying abroad. So let's begin. Starting from the basics, what is an education loan? Education loans can help students afford studying abroad by providing financial aid with competitive interest rates. These loans make a quality education at known universities more accessible, allowing students from all backgrounds to fulfill their dreams. Before we get into more details about studying abroad loans, let's quickly go over some common terms you'll hear when talking about education loans. The first word you hear often is interest rate. Simply put, it's like a fee when you borrow money. An extra amount you pay back per year is usually a percentage of borrowed money. If the interest rate is high, you'll need to repay more money. The next word to know is the moratorium period. It's like a break during your loan when you don't have to make the payments or have to pay a partial payment. The EMI repayment usually starts after you finish your studies, giving you time to settle into your new job without the immediate pressure of repaying the loan. Another important word is repayment tenure. This is the time you have agreed with your bank to pay back the whole loan, including what you borrowed and the interest. It might or might not include your study and grace time. Collateral is another crucial word, especially for secured education loans. It's a security that you give to the bank when you borrow the money. It's something valuable, such as a house, that a bank can take back if you can't pay back the loan. It's a way for the lenders to make sure that they don't lose the money if you have trouble paying them back. Lastly, let's talk about margin money. This is the cash you put from your pocket when you take a loan. For instance, if you're buying something worth 100 rupees and the margin is 10%, you need to give 10 rupees from your own pocket to buy that thing, and the loan will cover the remaining 90 rupees. Moving forward, let's discuss types of education loans. There are basically two: secured and unsecured. The main difference is that secured loans have a lower interest rate and a higher loan amount compared to unsecured loans, simply because of the risk involved in the loan repayment. Secured loans need collateral like a security deposit or a property, while unsecured loans do not. Also, secured loans don't need a financial co-applicant, but unsecured loans require one. Moving right along, the next thing that you should be aware of is the different types of companies giving an education loan for abroad studies. The first type of lender, which is also considered an optimal option during secured education loans, is a public sector bank. There are in total 12 public sector banks in India as of 2023. Few popular ones when an abroad education loan is considered are State Bank of India, Union Bank of India, and Bank of Baroda. In general, the interest rate for public sector bank ranges from 9.8% to 11.15%. One good thing about public sector banks is that since they usually provide collateral-based education loans, they do not have any restrictions on targeted institutes. Note that the interest rates we mentioned are floating in nature. The second type of lender is private sector banks such as ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, IDFC First Bank, and more. These banks become your saviors if you can't pledge a collateral, offering unsecured loans up to 75 lakhs. The interest rate typically falls between 10.5% to 11.5%. Moving on, there are NBFCs, which stands for non-banking financial companies. They come to your help if you don't meet the eligibility criteria of private banks. Unlike private banks, they can often offer higher unsecured loan amounts, extending up to 75 to even 80 lakhs. However, since their criteria are more relaxed, the risk of repayment increases, leading to higher interest rate, which ranges from 11.5% to 13.5%. Finally, there are international lenders who offer education loans in foreign currency. Their interest rate typically ranges from 12% to 14%, but in some cases, they can finance up to 100% of your cost of study. Next up is the process of getting an education loan for studying abroad. The general process is quite simple and is more or less similar for almost all lenders. There may be a step or two that varies, or the process medium may change, such as being online or offline. Commonly, the process begins with exploring and selecting the option from the available choices. Then, you visit the lender and connect with the representative to understand the process and know all the required formalities. Following this, you complete the steps explained by the representative, including document submission, so as to get the loan approved. Once the loan is approved, you carefully read all the necessary details and loan terms in the agreement before signing it. After that, you can receive the disbursement accordingly. It may take 2 to 4 weeks to complete your loan process in an ideal scenario. Few tips to improve your loan processing time and avoid any delay are to understand the process well in advance, have all the necessary documents in place, and submit all of them in time at once. Now, moving on to the documents required for an education loan. There are essentially different types of categories, and these may vary depending on the lender that you have chosen. Some general documents include the loan application form. It's crucial to calculate all your expenses carefully when filling out the loan application form, as it may not be possible to change it later. Lenders consider admission to an accredited institute as an assurance of your repayment, so proof of admission, usually in the form of an admit letter, will also be required. Every institute provides a fee structure, like the I-20 in the USA, CAS letter in the UK, LOE in Australia, which shows the cost of study and gives the bank an idea about tuition fees and other expenses that need to be paid to the university and for your own living as well. Hence, a fee structure is also an essential part of your document submission. In addition, other documents like identity proof, which includes Aadhaar card, your driver's license, passport, etc., passport size photographs, address proof, all past academic transcripts, and PAN cards of the applicant and the co-applicant are required. In addition to these, lenders will also request financial documents from your co-applicant, especially for unsecured or non-collateral education loans. There are two types of individuals, salaried and self-employed. Salaried individuals need to submit the latest 2 years income tax returns, Form 16, the latest 3 months salary slips, and the last 6 months bank statement as a salary proof. For self-employed individuals, the requirements include the last 2 years ITR, audited balance sheet, and the last 12 months bank statement as financial proof. Now, please be aware that listed documents are not rigid, as the requirements may vary based on the lender that you've chosen. If you are considering a secured education loan, knowing which collateral is acceptable becomes crucial to save time. You have two types of assets that you can use, liquid and illiquid. As the name suggests, illiquid assets are things that you cannot immediately sell off. This will include your house, land, etc. However, many lenders may not accept agricultural land, and even if you have non-agricultural land, it must come with boundaries. On the other hand, liquid assets include cash, fixed deposits, mutual funds, etc. These can also be pledged to get an education loan. The interesting part is that you still receive interest on any FD that you pledge towards your education loan. To summarize, collaterals generally accepted by lenders include your house, fixed deposit, government bonds, insurance policies, open land with clear boundaries, and sometimes agricultural land. On the flip side, lenders usually don't accept open land without clear boundaries, notary registered property in Telangana, B-Khata property in Karnataka, and GPA or leasehold properties in Delhi. Moving on to the last section of our video, let's tackle some frequently asked questions related to education loans for studying abroad. These have been gathered from our comment section over time. If you have any more questions, drop them in our comments below and we will address them in our future videos. Starting with the first question, who is eligible to take an education loan for abroad? Eligibility includes being an Indian citizen and securing admission to a recognized university, though the criteria may vary among lenders. Moving to the next question, how long is the repayment tenure? Typically, it ranges from 10 years to 15 years, but in certain cases, it can extend up to 20 years. The third question, what factors influence the interest rate? The factors influencing the interest rate include the targeted institute, targeted country, future job prospects, chosen course, your gender, academic records, collateral value, and the type of lender. Finally, the last common question is what expenses are covered in an education loan? Covered costs include tuition fees, living expenses, study-related items like books and labs, travel, health insurance, and other essential miscellaneous expenses of your studies. Exploring education loans for studying abroad is a big topic, and we cannot cover all in one video. For a deeper understanding, you can subscribe to our channel as it contains informational videos on various topics falling under the umbrella of education loans for studying abroad. If you are thinking about getting an education loan for studying abroad, you can also reach out to GyanDhan. We have been in this industry for 8 years, assisting thousands of students with over 5,000 crores in education loans disbursed. To begin your journey with GyanDhan, simply check your eligibility using the link provided in the description below. That's it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it, and drop any questions you may have in the comments.